I created a completely fake Rocket League esports broadcast complete with a ridiculous virtual studio, fake sponsors, fake teams, and scripted matches. It took me months of work and was actually incredibly difficult to create. Like getting two teams of pros to all get locked into a Rule 1 throughout the game while the ball slowly rolls into the net is a lot harder than it looks.
But the ball does look like it's slowing down.
But let me tell you, watching the reactions of my confused viewers as I torture them with the most insane esports broadcast of all time makes it all worth it. Here's what went into the show and how I pulled everything off. I started with a pointless 30-minute countdown timer, which ended up being almost as long as the actual broadcast. I don't know why it's so easy for me to be entertained, but I love watching people come in and complain about it. But some of the more experienced viewers from Rlbs Season 1 knew what to expect. Next, I created an entire merch line that is now on sale at SunlessKhan.com. My last merch line got taken down by Epic Games, but now, 2 years later, I have a new alternate Sun logo created just for this drop. I have two really sweet hoodies, a trippy blanket to keep you nice and warm in the middle of the summer, some very sporty stretchy hats, and of course some nice soft t-shirts with the new Sunburst logo. I actually created Rlbs just to make this video and show you this ad to buy my merch. I haven't done a sponsored ad on my channel for so long you guys forgot what it was like, and then BAM! I hit you with the merch ad. Get owned. Anyway, back to the broadcast. After a couple minutes of the host Axel Toss bragging about how awesome Rlbs is, we introduced the first sponsor. I warn you, this is weird.
What an incredible achievement, not only by the cast and crew here at the Rlbs, but also from you guys, the eggs in the stands. And speaking of eggs, I cannot believe this. Down on the field behind me, we have a streaker. While we're watching this unfold, let's go ahead and announce this season's headline sponsor, Denny's. For a limited time, enjoy all the pancakes, cheesy scrambled eggs, and hash browns you want for one low price.
I wanted to go into more detail about how the egg field intruder was now going to the kitchens of Denny's to become scrambled, but I figured a few of you guys would already make that connection in your sick minds.
Anyway, let's take a look at this season's standings. As you can see, the league looks a little different this season. You'll notice Team of Bronzes is missing. Unfortunately, after last season's humbling 34-0 loss to Dignitas and subsequent banishment of one of their players, I still don't know what that means, they have been relegated to the league below Rlbs, RLBOT.
Team of Bronzes turned out to be a fan favorite, so I slightly regretted my decision to not make them return.
NRP is another team that isn't here because they weren't quite poggers enough last season, so rip to those teams, but we do have some new faces.
I wanted to bring in some new teams like the Rocket League esports team, comprised of the director, observer, and Reddit moderator.
And in fact, one of those teams will be playing in our first matchup today. It's going to be version 1 versus Rocket League esports team.
I originally had a long joke here written about how the Rocket League esports team is obviously Axel Toss's boss, and therefore he shows massive favoritism to them, but I ended up cutting it since it was pretty obvious as the game unfolded what was happening. Now here's what I actually ended up doing.
Okay, let's get our match predictions from the desk. Let's see. Who do I think is gonna win this? I'm gonna go with...
Thank you very much, Axel Toss, and we are ready. It is V1 versus the RL Esports team in a matchup that many have described as the most likely we have ever been to get fired, Johnny.
It's not the first time that I've had that thought, though, Shogun, is it? But I really do agree with you there. I reckon that the RL Esports team are massive underdogs in this one.
This matchup is the real version 1 team with Calm, Torment, and Beast Mode, and playing the role of the RL Esports team is Prestige Esports.
This is a team that have got a lot of different angles to work with today.
Yeah, certainly so, as we do see the RL Esports moderator starting to move back, trying to lock down the defense like he will lock down the thread of anything that he disagrees with. Torment off the backboard. Tries to set up, nothing there, double commit.
The Observer getting a much closer view than what he's used to seeing, although much more one perspective as well. Usually this guy able to switch POVs, watch the director view, maybe even watch the autocam view, but not anymore. He's in nice, close and personal, getting involved in the action. And to be honest, with 45 seconds gone, they're holding their own a lot better than I expected. I'm wondering if V1 were anticipating this kind of resilience.
I'm impressed that the Observer is actually able to play as well, because that Observer camera is unlimited boost. That can stay up in the air for as long as possible. But to actually have to work under regular boost management, incredibly impressive so far. We stay at 0-0. Good boom and clear. Here's the director directing the ball back into the corner. Infield pass from Torment.
Yeah, difficult to sneak something past the arms. Oh, huge miss. Director had an opening, but he has failed to make contact, and realistically that should have been 1-0. Now it's going to be V1 with a chance, and Com buries it, punishing them.
Bundled over the line by Com as the director forced to watch. The Observer, well, that's pretty much all they do for a living, so nothing really all that new on that goal. as it is 1-0, and version 1 have got the lead.
Now the Observer, confident center ball, but he's not able to catch up to it, and that'll just lead to a second goal for version 1. Another mistake, one in attack, now one in defense, and it looks like the RL Esports team are falling apart.
Well, that's only the second biggest mistake right here. The first one is me and you talking any amount of trash to the people that kind of pay us. But it's fine. We are unbiased, neutral, and incredibly professional.
Yeah, exactly like the level of play that we're seeing from them today. Is they swat that one clear. And the goal just looks a bit open every time we pan across. And oh, a clutch pause and a restart from the kickoff. That is a huge play. Guaranteed goal denied by the RL Esports team.
So fun fact, in the recording, this pause text didn't show up at all, so I had to add it later. So this is actually completely fake. But that is what the text is supposed to say when someone pauses it. Not sure why it didn't show up in the recording, so it just created some extra work for me there, but I was able to fake it with no problem.
What can you do? No, seriously, what can you do? But now the back one, and beast mode!
Beautiful.
Oh, just forced to sit there in stasis. Look at that shot that you are not scoring, mate. Take a look at that. Okay, cool. 3-1.
Impressive to come back from the pause, such a close range, and still have control of his car. But look at the sneaky little additions there at the top of the screen. They're not a one-trick pony team here. They got the pause figured out, but now they're even adding score to their tally. Have V1 noticed?
The RL Esports team, exceptional work to get themselves back into this game. And V1 have been letting this drop. They were so comfortable to start with. It's been getting away from them, and what?
The first one is a little bit obvious. They paused the game and they added a goal, but they've realized they can just add the score whenever they want, and they don't need to do it one by one. They have got a huge lead, and they've in fact subtracted a goal. So the lead is just growing at an incredible rate here. Oh, nobody's given away the script.
Ignore that. Blur the screen.
Version 1 must be furious.
Well, version 1 can be as furious as they want. What they are, more importantly, is losing. And losing quite drastically. 6 goals, the deficit, half the game left to play. Oh, I think the Reddit moderator's seen something. That thread needs locking. Not enough karma on that post.
It's good to see that he's still taking care of responsibilities, but Beast Mode sneaks another one through, and that one is going to stand briefly. Looks like we've got a pause. They're thinking about it.
Beast Mode, can we? I'm sure they want to talk about how much sportsmanship has been shown.
Indeed, they have not taken the goal away using the settings, so they're actually quite
honorable.
Comfortable.
So the plan for this is the game gets wilder and wilder as the Rocket League Esports team starts to expand their powers.
V1, they are doing well. They're clawing this back, but they're still so up against it.
But because I imagine they want an entertaining game for the script, they started letting V1 claw back into the game.
You're not familiar with, a team you've never played against before. Difficult to read, difficult to anticipate, but now V1 have started to just focus on their own game. They're not thinking too much about what's being typed in the chat. They're not thinking about the pauses. They're not thinking about all of these rules and all these calls that are coming out from the moderator and the director in particular. They're just doing their own thing.
4 goals, still the difference. Minute and 10, Beast Mode might be able to change exactly that. Torment actually pre-jumped. And unfortunately, that pre-jump was just pre-failing.
Yeah, director and moderator now teaming up to put a ban on that attack, stopping it before it gets started inside the final minute. Com has to play it off his own backboard, getting desperate for version 1.
Oh, Observer. Oh!
What's a goal? In the wrong net, but still an absolute worldie from the Obs.
I thought it'd be funny if a 4th player even joined, so suddenly there's 4 players versus 3. I had my name changed to RL Esports Director, but once again, I was foiled by an annoying bug in the game where the name would change mid-game. So at first I'm the correct name, RL Esports Director, and then suddenly I'm revealed as Sunless, so it looks like I wanted to join the match or something, which I thought kind of ruined my joke.
Not a good look at him yet, but there's definitely 4 orange cars.
They're just that quick, okay? It's still completely above board.
They're trying to flex now with this with the score settings. They're trying to win this legitimately, and it's Sunless. He's been revealed. He's snuck in.
Let's see if now they can sneak themselves a victory. V1 have fought back. They've got themselves to overtime.
Oh, they can't move.
Stuck. It's the triple monarchy.
Unbelievable. They've added some time to the overtime clock. They've frozen version 1. Sunless taking a man out of the play, even though he couldn't do anything to stop it in the first place. And the RL Esports team remain undefeated. That explains all the questions we had before the match. How did they make it this far? Well, they have got unconventional strategies, but unbelievably effective.
Yeah, absolutely so. And the RL Esports team are going to continue their dominant march through the tournament.
Now, this is one of my favorite segments. In RLCS, I love how they feature music talent from the community like Isaac App and Athena. So I thought it'd be amazing if at RLBS they featured a community member whose music was a little more rough around the edges.
Here at the RLBS, we're known for supporting musical talent that comes out of our community. And that's why we're happy to announce our next homegrown artist, Asfura. Asfura's new song, I Got the Ice, is streaming now on Spotify and Apple Music, and you can find it on the main menu in Rocket League.
Bitch, how the fuck you missed that game winning shot? You break that shit like you Russell Westbrook. You for real thought you had the ice? Trust me, bro, you ain't that nice. Look at your hair, full of lies. I'm gonna roll you.
What an
like
absolute banger. I know I've been listening to it nonstop, and that's why I'm so excited to bring in the generational talent himself. Asfura is here for an interview.
This entire interview was done in one take and was completely off the cuff. Asfura didn't even know any of the questions we were going to ask. I thought the whole thing was gold, so I put the entire interview in the show.
Asfura, how did you react when you first heard that Rocket League would be using your new song as the main menu music permanently?
Man, it was a blessing, man. I was just chilling with my homies, you know. You need some 1Ds, 4 for 4. And then I heard my song in the main menu. I was like, ain't no way. I dropped my fries and I ran out the building.
And the rest is history. Man, it's so hype. One of my favorite bars in your song is, look at your hair full of lice. I'm gonna roll you like some dice. How did you come up with that clever wordplay?
Well, you see, as a kid, I used to read a lot of Dr. Seuss, right? So his lyricism really inspired me to write those lyrics. And I came up with that on the spot.
That is just remarkably impressive. So what does this song and this achievement mean for your legacy as a musical artist?
I don't know, honestly, not much. The song has like 1 stream, but I mean, we'll make it out one day, you know, so it's all good.
Patience is a virtue, as they say. Last question, do you have anything to say to all your fans, to all your haters, and to all the people that have never heard of you?
Yes. You don't got the ice? That's it.
What an inspiration that young man is, but even more inspiring is the newest addition to the Rocket League item shop. It's been long awaited and it's finally here. Tesla has teamed up with Rocket League to bring you
Model S.
take your game to another level with the all-electric smart vehicle from Elon Musk. With absolutely no engine noise, you can sneak up on your opponents like never before, and for the low price of $29.99 US, you can add on the autopilot package, which allows
Model S
to actually play for you. It's not pay to play, guys. It's pay to not play. Okay, I'm getting word that yes, we are now ready for our final matchup of the day. So take it away, Johnny and Shogun.
So here we go for our main event of the day. Warming up over here is Rogue. You can see them all passing the ball between each other in a triangle. You can tell it's a triangle because 3 different corners.
I always thought it'd be funny if the players in RLCS actually warmed up on the field like in real sports.
Opponents are ready and waiting. You got Lion Blade, you got Spooder, and you have got the myth, the legend, Pissmaster 45.
Led by Spooder, the Talisman, and of course, Lion Blaze. We all know what he can do. He can turn animals on fire.
And here is the newcomer to the league, Pissmaster 45. There was a lot of questions about this player, but he has overcome them with a very unique style. And the players are ready, the fans are ready. Johnny, I hope we're ready as well. We get into this, our main event of the evening. It's Rule 1 against Rogue.
Already a sneaky play in the back corner there from Rule 1, fake kickoff, and it gives him the first possession. Rogue all over them, however, shutting that first one down.
Now this was another really difficult thing to stage, which you'll see later in the game, but you might notice the names are messed up, and that's because this entire thing is a replay, because once again, the player names were switching back and forth, so I just recorded a replay. But this means there were no replays or countdown timers in the game, which made the whole thing feel even more odd.
No secret weapons utilized. They are holding their own. They're looking ready for battle here. Lionblaze leaving the ball, looking for the bump on Sirocco, but now it's Aqua. 1v1 with Spuda, who prefers to grab boost to defend the back wall. Huge mistake.
So for this goal, I just created a manual replay by looping the footage.
Spuda going to be happy that the replay is hiding where he was because he was nowhere near it.
I was going to use a better font and stuff, but at this point, I'd already poured way too much time into this thing, so I just left it scuffed.
Disappointing play by Spuda, and a disappointing scoreline for the Rule 1 fans out there. Their rivals, the Rule 2 fans, will be loving this from across the city.
This Rule 1 team is actually Ghost Gaming, so Lionblaze is the only one actually playing as himself. Shock and Hoxer are playing as Spuda and the fan favorite Pissmaster 45.
For Rogue, that was wide open for Lionblaze, but he hits the post. And now Patience from Pissmaster bides his time, sends it on target. It's slow, but it's effective.
A goal so good, we don't need to see it twice.
Gyro freestyling on Rule 1, trying to send them into a spiral. They have regained control. The rotation's back up and running again. Will they be able to remain toe-to-toe with Rogue, as they have done up until now?
Sirocco looking for the passing options. Couldn't quite bump Spuda. Nice flick, though, from Spuda. Going to keep the ball moving downfield. Looks for Aqua. And that's a lock.
Oh, he's got him
there. There's the Rule 1 initiated. And it's now a 2v2.
Evil intentions from Spuda left the ball after successfully flicking it past one. He only had his mind on one thing. Rule 1 Esports have turned this into a 2v2, and I think they've in fact turned it into a 1v1, and it's Lionblaze the last man standing.
And it's now Gyro against Lionblaze. It's not a position you'd expect Gyro to win, but he's gonna give it his utmost as everybody just avoiding the landmine of players scattered around Champions Fields.
They're avoiding them expertly right now. Any kind of contact could send this back into a 2v2, but that's of course not what Rule 1 Esports want. That's something that Rogue have also, credit to them, they've respected as well. That's not something that they've been known for, but they are willing to take Rule 1 on at their own game.
And they're willing to just put full trust in Gyro for this. As Lionblaze looking to try and make them pay for that. Gyro instantly dives in, but Lionblaze, he's got the better of it. Had to try and get rid of a couple of players, and because of that, was unable to set up for the shot.
Lovely little view there, Sirocco in an advantageous position to notice where it is, but look at this, suddenly we have got a triple. The ball is left alone. Lionblaze and Gyro locked up in the back corner as well, and that leaves no players to influence the play.
So now we come to the grand finale where the ball needs to dramatically roll towards the net with the entire lobby in a Rule 1. This part was by far the most work, as everyone had to remember their position as I jumped into the game and slowly shot the ball towards the net, then left to make it look like the ball was just rolling. Really tough trying to time it so the clock ran down close to 0 as the ball approached the net. We probably tried 20 times just to get this right, and then this would happen, and Spuda and Pissmaster's names would change back to Shock and Hoxer, so we'd have to reset the lobby, set the correct time, get everyone locked again, and attempt it again. Finally, I asked Lionblaze to try to take some attempts, and he got this perfect roll, and this is the result.
And now you're pretty much up to the curvature of the earth. You hope that the stadium was built in a way that is going to start tilting over to the right or the left, because that is very slowly, very carefully, very painfully, if you're a Rogue fan, trickling towards their net.
Yeah, slightly offset, but it looks like it might be on target. They'll be hoping for a gust of wind inside the final minute. Is the ball going to make it in time?
See, the best seats in the house are actually for the players locked in the Rule 1. Forced to honor this. It's getting there.
It's slowing down, definitely, but will it make it? 40 seconds. The time is not the question. It's all about velocity. But the ball does look like it's slowing down.
And Rogue, this is their tournament lives on the line for this one. They need this to not get there in time. Aqua, you can see. Close Aqua, can't believe it. It stopped. It stopped just before the line.
Literally a dead ball. Even when we zoom in, we can see there's absolutely no movement whatsoever. And with the countdown going down to 0, that means we are headed to overtime.
3, 2, 1. I cannot believe it. And the Rogue fans out there in the world will be so happy. Momentarily.
Rule 1, win it with a regular goal. They nearly pulled it off with the ace up their sleeve, but they've done it the hard way. Rogan shambles.
Overall, pretty much everything went wrong with this video, so I thought I'd share a little more behind the scenes style so you could at least see what it's like to make ridiculous Rocket League videos with me. I also have a really bad cold right now from getting COVID, so I really mean everything went wrong when I was making this, but I still managed to get the production broadcasted, get this video edited, and get my merch launched. Sometimes a lot of things don't go your way, but it's still worth it to see your work through and just get it done. That's one of the best feelings ever. I'll see you guys next week.
Tune in next season for even more exciting matchups and an exclusive interview with all 17 of the people that play Snow Day.